Hello everyone, good afternoon, and I'm here to give you technical training on Python. So before starting about Python, I would like to introduce you about my organization. We are in this industry of ready-made certification-based curriculum. We will train the people on this. We have 9+ years of experience in e-learning industry. We are providing recorded documents ready documents for the students to just prepare for the certifications. We have 10+ year of experience in this trainings. We are having the experienced trainer as well, multiple experienced trainer as well with us. So we have like 110 plus reputed corporates around globe. We have 450K plus professionals have got trained and certified from us. So our success ratio is too good, and more than 500 plus technology. We have just delivered multiple trainings on 500 plus technologies. Online trainings are being given by our organization. Multiple corporate trainings we have given, and something is like self-paced videos as well they have done. So it was all about my organization. We are into this training environment from last so many years, and many more to go. And here it's a bit about me. I completed my BTech in 2011 in computer science and engineering. I'm working as a corporate trainer from last 10 years, and I'm working as a corporate trainer for Python, Django, React.js, web development, Selenium, Node.js, Angular, HTML, CSS, and many more technologies which are just coming. I'm just learning, I'm just certifying myself in that, and I'm giving service in this environment. I'm working as a freelancer from past 9 years as a corporate trainer. It's almost 10 years now, and I completed 50 plus freelancing Python UI and web development trainings as well. And I'm conducting career guidance and planning sessions from last 5 years. So apart from this training, I guide people on the guidance of the career and all. Let's talk about today's agenda, what we are going to cover today. So today we will just talk a bit about Python. What is Python? How it came in market? What are all the things it can do? Then we will talk about flow control of the program. Then we will have the small piece of code which will be called function, how we can define that, which could be used multiple places. So we will check that as well. Then we will talk about advanced data type of the Python, that is dictionary and set. Before discussing these things, the basics in the detail, we are going to talk about what this course going to cover. So this course will cover overview of the Python. We will check about how we can start with the Python. Then we will talk about flow of the Python, of the program of Python will go. Like there would be some conditions, if else, or I will be having the looping construct in that. So how the flow of the program will be controlled, how the decisions would be taken when we will execute the program conditionally. I will tell you those things in the flow control. I will tell you the sequence data type, defining functions, working with files. So files as well is a data type, and then working on the data written in the files. So this part comes more than the data analysis, file handling, dictionary and set. So dictionary as well is a type of data type. Error and exception handling, I would consider this as well like very important part, because errors and exceptions should be handled. That is like a key part of a program. Otherwise, if errors would be keep coming, then program quality won't be good. Then we will talk about how we can use the inbuilt module, how we can make our own module, how we can use that. Then we will talk about regular expressions. So this is like working in the smart way. Regular expression will help us in working in the smarter way. Then we will talk about Python classes, introduction to that, and hands-on that. Then complete OOPS concept, practice test, and interview questions. That is important part, because without practice we won't be able to understand the things properly. Then we will talk about the projects, and we will just practice project, because when we come to programming languages, hands on is very important part in that. So we have to make one, two, three, or any number of projects on that to just be comfortable with the language. So we will focus on the project part as well. So now let's talk about our course, what it will have. We will just talk about la Python, then its advantages and all those things. Okay, then we will see. I'll just help you in knowing if you are learning Python, what are all the things you can do, right? So once you will be having good hands on in Python, you are eligible for multiple jobs, like you can develop a software in Python. So that would be like normally as a software engineer, you can work in the companies with are working on the Python. Then you can work as a Python developer in multiple companies. You can freelance as well. Another is research analyst. So I'll just tell you, like, there are multiple research analyst jobs available for Python. Then data analyst, yes, this is like in the boom job. Data scientist and data analyst are these days boom job these days in the field of Python. So this will do all about data actually. You will come to know once you will be completed with the programming language. You will understand what is the significance of data handling in the Python. Okay, then the software developers. So here the software developer, Python developer, and a software engineer, these three are correlated jobs, but I just kept these three things in the different format because multiple companies give us it in different way. All right, so we have multiple career options after developing, after learning this language actually. Okay, so the only commitment I want from this batch is like you should have hands on the things we will learn. So now let us know a bit about like who all are using Python in the market. So Python is used by Wikipedia, Google, Yahoo, NASA, many organization actually. It is often used as a scripting language for a web application. This means that it can automate a specific series of tasks, making it more efficient. Consequently, and Python is just often used in the software application pages within the web browser. Yes, this language is used in the web browser as well, and the shell for the operating system. Okay, so it can have something like a shell part as well. We can just design some games as well in this. So multiple fields it can be used. This language is used in multiple mathematical, scientific computing as well, and in the artificial intelligence project as well. So we can just see artificial intelligence is in boom these days. So it can be used there as well. And it's been successfully used in the embedded environment also. Okay, so it has been successfully embedded in numerous software product, including visual effects of the compositor Nuke and the 3D modelers. Actually, in the animation packages, this could be used. So we can use the Python for the animation part as well. So after doing this training, you can go for the circuit certification. So that is like PCEP, that is certified entry level Python programmer certification. And next is PCAP, that is certified associate in Python programming. Okay, so these two are the certification program as well. So after completing this course, you have to appear for the particular test, and then you will be able to called certified Python developer. So my organization will just give you the course completion certificate. It would be like this. Okay, so now let's talk about few topics we decided we are going to cover. So those topics would be like before going to this list, let's talk a bit about Python. All right, so what is Python, why we use Python, those things. Okay, so Python is a programming language, and it can be used to on the server to create web application, or it can be used at the application part as well. Okay, so when it comes to like basic introduction, it is a popular programming language, and it was created by Van Rossum, and it was released in the 1991. It is generally used for web development, for the software development, mathematics, system scripting, and in the many fields. Okay, but before just going further, we are just going to talk what Python can do. So Python can be used on the server to create web application. This I already told. Python can be used alongside software to create workflows. Python can connect to the database system, and it can also read and modify files. Python can be used to handle big data and perform complete mathematics. Python can be used for rapid prototyping, or we can just say production ready software development as well. It could be used there as well. So we can see like what Python can do, but why only Python we should use? That is also very important point to know. So Python works on different platforms actually. It can work on Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry, any kind of platform it can be used. And Python has like simple syntax that is similar to English language. So anyone from the non-programming background as well can know it easily. These days, kids studying in third, fourth standard are able to write the Python program. This is the today's latest talks. Okay, people are talking a lot about Python. People are learning a lot about Python. So in the school student as well, third, fourth standard student are like so good in Python these days. Python has a syntax that will allow developer to write a program with fewer lines. Okay, with the less number of lines, we can write a program which will be able to do a lot. Python runs on an interpreter system, meaning that can be executed as soon as the code is written. This means the prototyping can be very quick. Python can be treated in a procedural way, an object oriented way, or a functional way. So this was like why we should use a Python. So now let's talk about our data type, Python list. So list is also a type of data type. So before just going to the list, I would like to talk about like Python collections. Collections means array. So there are four types of collections we have. That is list, tuple, set, dictionary. Okay, so these are like four types of collections available. So let's go to the list. A list is just a collection which is ordered and changeable. It means it would be arranged in order and we can change it anyway. So lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable. And lists are one of four built-in data types Python is used to store, and other three are tuple, set, and dictionary, and all are of different qualities and usage. We have already know that. So here is just a syntax written. You can just see lists are created by using square brackets. So we can just see this list is just syntax how I can declare a list. So here the apple, banana, cherry, this is our this list, and we are just going to print this list. Another example I would like to give, my list is equal to, in the square brackets I will just tell Bhanu, Sonu, Nonu, anything. Okay, so these things as well would be part of our list. So this is the syntax of declaring a string, the list, and how we can print the list. That is easy print statement, in that we can just write the name of the variable. The list is the most versatile data type available in the Python, which can be written as a list of comma separated values between square brackets. Important thing about the list is that item in the list are need not to be the same time. Very important part. Like we have in other languages, integer array would have only integers, character array would have only characters, but here it's not like that. This is not stopping it to add another data type. So let's go to the paint, and there I will just explain you the topics I decided to explain. Yes, so those topics are overview of Python we have already seen. Now we will talk about flow control. So I'll just take it like this, and in this I will just mention these three things. When we talk about flow control, it means I'm talking about controlling the flow of the program. So that would be controlled with the help of if else statement or the looping. So let me just give you an example of that. Here what I'm doing is I'm just declaring a data a, that is a variable, and I'm just declaring a b, that is also a variable. So here a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 2, and now I want to compare these two. So I'll do that. If a is greater than b, then what you have to do is you can just do this, okay, and here you can just do, I think this would be better if I will, and here I will write the program in the Visual Studio Code. I think that would be better option. Instead of explaining it in the paint, we can just execute the program and we can just see. Okay, so I'm just creating my new file, and I will just save it as mind. I'll save it as a mind magics.py, and in this I will just select Python. That is fine, and I just saved the file. Okay, here you can see it is done. Now here I will just declare a data like a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2. Then here I will have the condition if a is greater than b, then I should just print a is greater, and if not, then it is supposed to print b is greater. So before executing this program, I would just like to explain you this. A and B are a variable. As you can see, I assigned the value in that. And here the line number 3 where I've written if A is greater than B. So that is like I'm just checking if the value stored in A is greater than B, then it will just enter this block. So in the Python, that block scoping would be done with the help of the indentation. Here we don't use the brackets, curly brackets. We won't use that. We will just include that block scoping with the help of indentation we give. So as you can see, after if I have given the indentation, so the print is done. All right, so this is all about like our if else statement. So here we can just see what is the output. B is greater. Yes, as B is 2, B is greater. Now I'll just change the value of A, and now let us see the output. What would be the output? So this is all about like basics of if else statement. We have multiple forms of this, like nested if else or elif as well. So here instead of just having this else, I will just have elif. So here as well I can just check the condition. A is equal to B. This as well was fine. So and here I'll just tell else. I will just print B is greater, and in the second line I'll just send both are equal. Okay, so this as well could be done. So like that we can just see A is greater, and if I will tell both are equal, then it could be done this way. Okay, so we can just see it will tell oops both are equal. So this is like how we can just have the condition and we can add the code accordingly. We can just have the nesting as well. Nesting means I will have the if inside if condition. I will just tell you this in that way. If a is equal to 12, then what it should do? See, this is called nesting of the loop. I am 12. Okay, so we can see it in the output. So both are equal, so it is coming to that. So let's make the a greater than b, and I'll just make it 120. So we can see it is printing I am 12, and then it will print a is greater. So this was like all about like conditional statements or controlling the flow. We can just do another thing as well for controlling the flow. For that we just need to have the loops. So we have two types of loop: while loop and for loop. Okay, so let us use these things as well one by one. First, let's start with the while loop. Okay, so in the while loop we will just have I is equal to 1. Then I will just mention in this while I is less than 6, and in this condition I'll just write print I. So it will just keep printing this I until it reaches to the value equal to 6. So what it will do in the while loop is just keep executing the body until the condition in the bracket meets. Okay, it will just keep executing the body until the code get executed. So the very first part over here is initialization. I is equal to 1 is initialization. Then while uh, this condition is called of condition checking, and this last part is called the increment. So these three are like important part: initialization, condition checking, and the increment. So this way we can just execute a loop, and we can just in the 3 lines I can perform a task of 6 lines or like that. See, I plus 6, right? So I will just make I is equal to I plus 1. What would be the use here? You can just see it's printing 1 to 5. Okay, so in one line I just in the one printed statement I'm able to print I 5 times. Okay, so why we use the looping? Because in the less number of lines we want to execute more code, whatever is written in the body. We can just more code, or we can just tell it the similar code written in the body should be executed multiple times. Basically I would like to tell the code written in the body would be executed multiple times. So this was about loop. So we have two types of loop: while loop and for loop. Okay, so let me just give you example of the for loop as well. For loop is easiest. That is, for loop is very easy. It could be used with each of the data type as well. I will give you example with the string. I'll just tell for I in Python, and in that I'll just do indentation and I'll do print I. So what it will do, it will just take the character, it will just run the loop through each character written in the body. Let me just check. See here. Okay, it just took the character one by one. First character it took, then it printed, then second, then it printed. So it will go till end of the string. So this is how the for loop works. Okay, very easy to understand. The more about these things we will just see in the detailed session. The next thing we are going to discuss in this session is defining function. So now let us see how I can define the function. Very easy part, defining function. But before we will just see the functions, first we should understand the significance, why we want to define the function. Normally I can just say a function is a block of the code which only runs when it will be called. So the block of code would be just written anywhere. Whenever we will call that time only it would be executed, and you can just pass the data when that accepts the parameters, and it will just return the value as well. Okay, so that depends on the type of the function we are making. Okay, that is just a programmer requirement specific, nothing strict provided by Python. So now let us see how I can declare the function. So I will just tell it def my function, and in this I will just print hello. That's it. Okay, so this is just a print to print a function to print hello. So why it is not executed? Because this is a block of code will be executed only when it will be called. So let me call this function and now it will be executed because now I'm calling this. So now let us see. It's printing hello. We can just see it is printing hello. So I can just do like I can write another function as well for this, which will just accept some argument that would be like name, and for printing I can just do print name. That's it. And here in the name I can just write mind magics, mind magics. That's it. Now it will tell hello mind magics. We can see whatever parameter we are passing, it would print accordingly. Okay, so this was about the function as well. So here I'm just sending one argument. We can send the multiple arguments as well. Okay, so it depends on the requirement. So today, what are all the things we studied? We studied few basic type of the flow control. So that was with the help of if else if as well I have seen. So nested if else as well we have seen. Then we have seen like defining function, how I can define the function. There are two data types as well, like dictionaries and set. So dictionary would be like a mapping. Okay, so it would be like a name value combination exactly. Okay, so let me just show you how the dictionary look like, and then we will see how the set will look like, and then we can just terminate. I'll just give you a part like, okay, this is dictionary, and my dictionary, my dictionary is equal to, and this is my dictionary. Okay, this would be in the curly braces, and now this is like name. So my name is mind magics, so this also should be in the codes. Then class, then I will tell expert. Okay, like this I can just declare my dictionary. So what is the dictionary exactly? Dictionary is a collection which is unordered, changeable and indexed, and here the things would be written in the curly brackets, and they will always have the key value pairs. Okay, so name is the key, mind magics is the value, how we can just access the items, how we can modify the things, that things could be seen in the later sessions. Okay, so coming to our ppt, so let's talk about the project we will demonstrate after the python training. So that is like first program would be like number guessing, second is like contact book, and third is like binary search algorithm. Okay, so these three projects we are going to help you after this course. Okay, and the lab setup required for the python, that is like easiest thing, python installed and any code editor is fine. Many people worked in just notepad plus plus. Okay, so that is like nothing hard and fast, you need to have blah 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 some code editor. No, that is not requirement. So only system requirement is some python should be installed, and any default code editor could work fine. And any additional information if you want for the training, for that you can just go to these websites, you can just get additional course resources as well. And here are like few mock interview questions. So these interview questions, I think these could be discussed after each session. So once we will just cover each topic, we will just see interview questions, but I added interview questions over here is just to tell you, after every session we are going to talk minimum 5 interview questions, because end of the day you have to appear for the test, for the certification, or you have to go to some company, you have to give interview there. So for that I would just like to prepare you for that. All right, so for any doubts regarding the subject or any course timings or any resource allocation, it can be discussed with my team, with mind magics, and please feel free to drop any query. If you have any query, you can just drop it at info@mindmagics.com. Thank you. Thanks everyone. See you in the next lecture. Bye.